Hey guys, so today's video is just going to be short and sweet. I've tried to film this like 4 times already and I didn't like it. So this is my kind of review on the Marc Jacobs Remarcable foundation. If you want something quick, you don't want to sit here for 3 minutes, I give it a 4 out of 5, mainly because of the color selection. Okay, so I'm in the second shade, which is Ivory 12. It says very fair with yellow undertones. It is very yellow, so if you're more neutral, you're going to have to bring it down like I have to. The first one is very fair with pink undertones, and I can get away with it, but it's a little too light. Like I like the mix of these two together better, but I don't want to have to buy both shades to make it work. There are 22 shades, which is not bad, but there aren't a lot of neutral ones. They mainly have a good selection in the medium range, nothing good at dark and nothing really good for pale skin like mine. It is $55, which is why I'm kind of bummed that I love it, but it's worth it to me. So in that sense, it is definitely worth it for the price, because you're gonna get way more uses out of this than a traditional foundation because there's so much pigment in it. It claims it lasts 24 hours. I would say it lasts about 8 hours on me before I start getting super oily, which is great because I usually start getting oily within like 3 hours. So this is bomb. I've tried this foundation with 3 different setting powders. I've tried it with the Laura Mercier, I've tried it with the Kat Von D, and also this one from number 7. It's the Translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder. I think Ulta is carrying this now. I don't know if all of them are, but mine is. This is really good. It's slightly pink, so it does help neutralize this a little for me. But it's a very light powder, and it almost feels hydrating, so I think this is really good with this foundation. If you use a powder like the Laura Mercier on this, it almost makes it too dry that it starts cracking, even if you're oily. It kind of cracks and gets a little gross. You can use a beauty blender if you want to blend it out. I prefer a buffing brush. I don't buff it on, I kind of stamp it and then press down because it does accentuate any hairs if you kind of pick it up. But the coverage is really nice. Now, I didn't buy it yet because it's a lot of money and I wanted to see if I liked it, and I've been using it for about a month now. From this tiny sample jar, I'm not even halfway done with this, and I've been using it every day for a month. So what I do is I shake this, and when I open it, there's some on the lid, and I just dot my finger in there and dot that all over my face, and that's all I need for the coverage that I like. You can use less for less coverage, more for more coverage, but that tiny dot does really go a long way. If you're using it for the first time, I would definitely put one dot down, like just one single dot, blend that out and see how far you can drag it. I've seen a few videos of people assuming the one dot thing is bullshit, and they put it all over their face the same way and the same amount they would with a different foundation, and then they end up super cakey and like it just gets super oily a lot quicker because you have way too much foundation on. So yeah, start with less if you're trying this out and then build from there, but you really shouldn't have to because of how much pigment is in this foundation. I have tried this with a few different primers. The primer I liked it with the most was the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer, but that primer breaks me out, unfortunately, so I haven't been using it with a primer, and it's been fine. My pores don't seem accentuated to me. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the clip where it shows me applying this foundation. That's all. It doesn't show like putting makeup on top of it or anything like that, but I do want to mention makeup applies really nicely and blends really nicely on this even without a powder. So if you are more dry and want to try this out, aside from heavily moisturizing, you don't have to powder this. You can just blend powders on top of it. Like, it's so easy. Let me know if there are other foundations you want me to try out or that you think are similar to this because maybe before I buy it I will find something cheaper that's just as good. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I think I'm gonna have to buy the full-size bottle of this.